Ghana formerly had 16 regions, but recently the 17th region was added to the regions we have in Ghana. And that has to do with the diaspora. The diaspora has officially been added to the regions we have here in Ghana. Now, why is it necessary for the diaspora to be part of Ghana? Why is it necessary for them to come back home to help develop the nation? I'm going to be having a very interesting conversation with my guest on this subject. My name is Great, and you're watching Afri Xperience podcast. From 2019, when the year of return started in Ghana, we had a lot of people visiting Ghana. And a lot of people coming to visit are not just here to chill, have fun, and leave, but some of them actually came and stayed. Some of them are still coming to stay, to establish business, to have family and all of that. Now, they need guidance to the new terrain. They need to know what's going on over here when it comes to business and all of that. And so our conversation today is going to be dealing with that, like I said earlier. And I have an amazing guest in the studios right here with me, Adubea Afua Ayisi. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Right. I want you to introduce yourself. Tell us what you do.
Okay. Yes, like my name is Adubea, and I come from the eastern region of Ghana, the coolest place in Ghana, the most respectful people in Ghana. Wow. I come from Edukrum, and my parents were, my father was a lecturer, became a professor, and then my mother was a teacher. So we have that kind of mindset, just to growth mindset right from, childhood. I did my secondary education in Holy Child School as the best school in Ghana, the best girls' school in Ghana. And I did my tertiary, most of my tertiary in Nigeria, because at the time, when the revolution came about, a lot of Ghanaian lecturers left for Nigeria. So my daddy went along with them. We had to follow. And at the time, I was in sixth form. So when my daddy, became a lecturer in Port Harcourt, that's where I continued. So I did my first degree in French. And then I went on to do a postgraduate diploma in mass communications. And then later on, when I came back to Ghana, I did MBA in entrepreneurial management. And so I was privileged to have worked in Nigeria for some time, and privileged to have worked in top management positions in several business sectors. So I've marketed exotic furniture. I have marketed the Swiss jewelry. I've marketed tableware, expensive tableware. I've done NGO, I've done consulting, I've done fashion, I've done interior decoration, a gamut of. So I, unconsciously, at the back of my mind, I didn't know I was really observing and looking at leadership styles, looking at strategies that make businesses work. Unconsciously, I was taking mental note of these things. I didn't know that it will lead to anything. And so I observed a lot, and I had the opportunity to work with my employers. So I was looking at their style. I was looking at the decision making. I was looking at how they treat their employees. And I was making mental notes of them and telling myself that I was seeing the good, the bad, and the ugly. Right. I was telling myself that when I become a leader, these are the things that I won't do. These are the things that I would do. And then I didn't even know I'll do what I'm doing right now. Yeah. So then I came back to Ghana, and I did a lot of consulting work. At some point, I got bored because I am a multi-skilled person. I don't like doing just one thing, for a long time. So I just got bored. And I said, all this experience, where am I taking it to? Then at the time, the University of Ghana had started their EMBA in entrepreneurial management. And my sister told me, why not, add this to your, this thing. So when I started the course, I just thought this was what I was born to do, So it was almost like that whole love for business was born. So basically, I have, then I found out that, when I'm with a lot of my business friends, they get a lot of problems, and I'm just giving them solutions. It just comes naturally. And they're like, oh, okay, I tried your solution, it works. Why are you getting all this creativity from that? I just brushed it off. It still didn't click then. Then eventually I got bored to the extent I thought that after entrepreneurial management, I thought that this was my forte. And so I co-founded an aviation business with somebody. And then that ran till I think I did it for about 7 years. Then I co-founded another one with, that was a restaurant, and that's how that whole business forte, came about. So I am a founder of Adubea and Associates. So this is a business consulting firm where we help homecoming and home-based diasporans. We help them to conceive, to build, and to brand innovative businesses in Ghana. And so how that came about is another story.
We are going to get into the juiciest part of the conversation, and this has to do with the diaspora. Now, it's going to be a very interesting conversation because myself, I had a background in diaspora. I worked at a station called Diaspora Network Television. We focused more on the diaspora coming back home to build Ghana. And it's been a very interesting experience. Big shout out to my boss, Mr. Jermaine Nkrumah, CEO of Diaspora Network Television. I don't know, he's a chairman of Global Diaspora. Yeah, chairman of Global Diaspora. I got it right. And so it's been a good experience learning from him and my immediate boss, also Mr. Samir Rasta. So we're just going to have a very interesting conversation about the diaspora. Now, you've also traveled to, you stayed in Nigeria, traveled to Togo, Malawi, Kenya, US, UK, and then you're back home. Now, tell me, how do these countries perceive business in Ghana?
First of all, they see Ghana as home. So this term that they use, the motherland, it's home. Because this is where they feel that this is their roots, this is where they get their identity and all that. So when they come, they are eager to learn the cultural nuances of the workplace or the business terrain in Ghana. So first of all, they see this place as home. Then also they see so many business opportunities in Ghana. What we don't see, they see, because they have an advantage of having exposure. So in the US, in the UK, in all these, I'm talking specifically about the Western before I talk about the African countries. So they have exposure. Things work there. They're doing so much more than we are doing. So when they come here and they see the problems that we have, the gaps in the system, wow, this is an opportunity. I can do this here. I can tweak this in this way. So they're seeing a lot of opportunities here. That's why they're coming in their numbers. Because what we think are problems, behind every problem is a solution. And as an entrepreneurial, if you have an entrepreneurial mindset, you don't see the problem, you see the solution. You understand? Yeah. So that is something also that, business opportunities, they see a lot of that and they want to leverage on that. They see challenges too, especially with the infrastructure. Okay, so they are not used to power outages. You are there, no, like power is off, water. You go to certain places, water hasn't run for a long time. You have to invest in, tanks and all that, road networks, logistic problems. They see all these things. And sometimes, if they don't have experienced people to mentor them, and there are always ways to overcome these things. There are always ways to plan for these things. But if they don't come into contact with the right kind of people in business to mentor them and let them know that, yes, there are challenges exist, but these are the ways that then they get frustrated, And these two in business, it adds to your operational cost, because now you have to look for whether it's solar inverters or you have to look for, generators, and it adds to your operational cost. So sometimes it's some sort of shock to them because they're used to power throughout water. How is it possible that you don't have water? How? That kind of thing. And so these are some of the things that, for me, that's what I've observed.
Okay. Adubea, Adubea and Associates. Now, the way this podcast actually started was I had a friend, a European friend, who was in Ghana. We became brothers eventually, and then whenever he's going to say something about Ghana, it's always about the positive. Oh, the people are so welcoming. The people are hospitable. I love it here. The food is good, and all of that. And so I said, okay, there are a lot of people, experts who are interested in sharing their experience, and that's how come this podcast came about. Briefly, now you trying to help the diasporans come back home to build businesses, to live life over here. Is there any story behind that?
Oh, yeah, there is. I told you at some point I got bored. And I was asking myself, so what am I going to be doing with all this experience? My business journey, I've worked in different business sectors. I've done consulting. I've, co-founded business. What am I doing with all this? So somewhere along the line, I watching videos, what is it, YouTube and everything. There was a particular period about 2-3 years ago where, YouTube was bombarded with experiences of diasporans who had been ripped off, and they shared their stories of when they came to Ghana, they were ripped off and everything. They thought they were coming to the motherland and this, that. And it was pathetic. I mean, it caught my attention, and I was like, I wanted to delve more into this thing. How come they were being ripped up and all that kind of thing? Then I started packaging this concept because I'm somebody who I don't like to do what others are doing. I like to do things that are different. So yeah, there are so many business consultancies, but how different is mine going to be? And I like doing things that are niche. Okay, so I said, these diasporans, definitely there's a gap in here that has to be filled. Their portrayal of the experience in Ghana has to be enhanced because yes, you had terrible experiences, rape-ups and all that, but that doesn't mean we are all like that. So what could I do to let them have a better experience so that their pain points were, this whole mindset of mistrust, people ripping them off, this whole infrastructural thing, this whole thing about they'll just jump into business. They don't know the terrain, they don't understand the terrain, and they invest so much. And then at the end of the day, the businesses don't pan out. And I said, there are ways in which I'll take all these pain points and package a business consultancy out of it. So you find that at Adubea and Associates, there are just two main things, all our services, two main things that we are trying to do. Business failure, work ethics. These are the two things we are trying to do. Statistics indicate that 80% globally, 80% of businesses that are established globally, 80% fail within the first 5 years. Statistics indicate globally. In Ghana, within the first 3 years, 90% of businesses fail. And so I thought that there was a need, especially with these diasporans, to be able to help them and ensure. So you find that all our businesses, all our services in different dimensions is helping them to build resilient businesses that will not fail. Okay. And the second one is work ethic. Work ethics in Ghana and everything, it's not the best. So how are we going to ensure that the diasporans bring in the global exposure and then implant it into the work ethics of Ghana? So that's how Adubea and Associates was formed. And diasporans, because I thought I needed a niche market. I didn't want to, and I thought that they had all these videos and all that gave the us as Ghana a very negative this thing about the business territory. And I thought I could contribute to enhancing that image. And so, and I thought that they also had the advantage of exposure, and working with them, we could build innovative businesses in Ghana that will not be copycat businesses and then contribute to enhancing the economy. So that's why I chose diasporans. Diasporans, in a bigger sense, is diasporans and expats. Diasporans could be Ghanaian diasporans returning home, or African diasporans, diasporans of African descent coming home, or expats from Europe and all. So home-based, those who are here already have set up their businesses, and those who are intending to come back home or relocate. Those are the two targets.
Okay. There's a business guy on normally TikTok. He's a white guy that goes around interviewing millionaires, asking them how you made the first million and all of that. And one thing, he interviewed one businessman, I've forgotten the name, and something he said was that he asked him, what is the future of business, right? And then the man was directing him to Africa, saying there are a lot of opportunities in Africa. So Africa is going to be the next big thing when it comes to business. Why do you think there's a need for them to come home and invest in Ghana and in Africa?
Diasporans generally. Like I earlier said, we think we have problems, but we have opportunity. Every problem has a business concept behind it. And if you're able to see the problem and look at the solution to it, it's a big business on its own. So that's what they see. I think that as a Ghanaian, or if you ask me, when I see a lot of the youth passing through deserts and going to Europe, like, hey, for me, I would like to go there. If I go there, it's with the mindset of what are they doing differently? Can I learn from them? I'm going to chill, yes, but hey, what can I learn? But what contributed to making their environments or their business landscapes or that country being as it is because the people stayed and they built it, or they went elsewhere and learned innovative things, and they came back and built their. So for me, I think that is what we should also do, diasporans who are globally, whether it's Ghanaian or whatever, come to, if you've identified Ghana as a place that it's hope for you, bring all the expertise and bring all the positives that you've learned and the gaps you are seeing. Come and help build Ghana. Because in the US, in the UK, they came to help build their nation, and you are going there. So I see Africa as in, I feel that you can't change a nation, but you can change the little thing that you're doing. So I have a philosophy that I pass on to all my clients, that when you're building your business, you're building a world. It's your world. You define the culture. You define what works, what doesn't work. You define the systems. Can you imagine if we have 10 different businesses that are having growth mindsets, global work ethics, innovative businesses in Ghana? You are nurturing the mindsets of your employees. you're making them better people, and they are helping you to grow your business. With time, you see that mindset becomes part of who they are, and you've contributed in changing what was the status quo. So yeah, I feel that, it's necessary for people to come home and contribute rather than stay in somebody else's country and forever, So, well, this is something in Ghana that it's not too pleasant, where when we see diasporans, we see them as dollars or, dollars coming to us. So if it's a Ghanaian that you're charging like 20 cedis and you see that's a diasporan, you have to charge more and that kind of thing. So they come and they are wondering, this person who is talking to me, is he real? Is he not? That kind of thing. So I looked at all that, and so I believe in synergy in working, and because I feel that you don't know it all. So to help with them being so vulnerable that they can be, they can be ripped off, or because they don't know the business terrain. As the name implies, it's Adubea and Associates. So what Adubea's expertise can do, it's an Adubea service. But I also have associates. And because business is so wide, you have different business sectors. So if somebody is into agriculture, I don't have expertise in that. That person is running their business. So one of the things that I do, I have two types of associates. We have the associate entrepreneurs. These are people who are running their businesses, but they are in different business sectors. So normally when I have a client and their business that they want to establish here is in another business sector that I don't have expertise in, I have associates. So I'll let you have a 1 or 2 hour mentoring session with the associates in maybe IT or agriculture or, tourism or whatever that is not within my expertise, just for you to have an understanding of the business terrain, know the critical success factors, so that with knowledge, you won't be easily fleeced. You won't be easily ripped off. You'll be able to now sit down and think, how do I prepare and plan for this, my business? So that's one aspect of the associates. Then there's another aspect of the associates that are professionals. During your business transition, you need a lot of professionals. You need accountants, you need HR experts, you need legal experts. So those are a network of associates that I have. So all that is to resolve the problem of not having business payroll.
How did you start with the diaspora business community?
Okay, so what I had in, and that was also very intentional. That's also very much a part of my business model, just as the associates are a part of the business model, because business is not a lone ranger journey. You do it alongside with people. And in Ghana, we have something that is unique. We have personal relationships in business. We have connections in business, especially because we have a lot of bureaucracy and red tapes in our whole business terrain system. You have to go through a lot of complex approvals and all this before you get what you want. So the networks are so valuable, So I thought, in spite of the fact that I'm giving people all these skills and all these support services, they need to have a network where they bond, where they share experiences, where they are empowered, where when they are frustrated, they put it on the platform and everybody helps them. So initially, I started with just diasporans. When I have my events, when I have my services, all my clients, I put them on a platform, called it Diaspora Business Community. Then after some time, I said, no, these people also need Ghanaians, because it's the Ghanaians that will be collaborating with them, Ghanaians who will be their clients, vice versa. And some Ghanaians are also want to expand their networks to include diasporans. That's where they find their suppliers. That's where they do their collaborations and all that. So I brought on board Ghanaian entrepreneurs who are doing their own thing, Ghanaian professionals who are doing their own thing. So we formed the diaspora business community. And this is such a vibrant community. I mean, it's not like a chat thing, but everything we put there is business related. People, and I've learned, and a lot of us have learned so much from the diasporans on the platform. And these are diasporans, some of them are there, wherever in their home countries, planning to come to Ghana. Some of them are here. But they are sharing perspectives that we didn't even understand. We didn't even know, They are sharing difficulties that they have and the good sides about Ghana, that it even is helping us to appreciate what we have. And when there are problems or when they are stuck, they share it, and all the Ghanaians will give them solutions. So we are bonding. And that kind of bond, a lot of the time, we haven't even met each other before. So sometimes when they come to Ghana and they say, I'm here, then we all go and, like, most of us would do a meetup and, oh, so this is you. You are talking like, So it's so essential, like I said, because running a business is a very lonely thing. Everybody expects that you have all the ideas, you have all the solutions, but you get stuck. And if you don't have like-minded people that are pulling you up, especially when you feel like giving up, you'll give up. So this is sort of a supportive network. We enhance each other's strengths. We refer each other. We do a lot of postings, or if you're doing anything, advertising your business is there. You know that we support each other. When you're having events, we support you. We go there and all that. So it's a rich community. It makes them feel that they have a support network, and we are growing it by the day.
Let's look at some of the mistakes the diasporans make when they come into Ghana.
But when they come, they have this connection.
Yeah. So excited. Yeah.
But business is not like motherland excited. You have to understand the terrain. And a lot of the time, and this is not just even with diasporans, it's just with generally the entrepreneurial mindset. If you're not careful and you have an innovative business idea, you're excited. You just want to start it. And you don't do any due diligence. Okay. So one key mistake that a lot of them do is that they don't do due diligence. They don't understand the business terrain here. One, they want to hurry up and start the business. They want to see the end of the business. And sometimes also they want to take a concept wholesale from the UK, from the US, and bring it to Ghana without understanding the customer segment dynamics. What worked there cannot necessarily work here. So that if you have people mentoring you, they'll tell you tweak it like this, or do a customer segment, analysis to know what are the needs here, what are the price preferences, all those things. Then you factor it into shit. So the first thing is that sometimes it's hasty in the way they establish their businesses and the way they jump into business without really knowing the terrain. That's the first one. Second mistake, getting a lot of business information from friends and family. Friends and family, sometimes they feel as if, whether it's Ghanaians or diasporans of African descent or expats, sometimes they have friends here. With the Ghanaians, they have family. So they come down and come and visit. Whoa, what kind of business is working here? So your family members will say, oh, restaurant is working. There's a really restaurant. And you are getting information from people. They have your best interest at heart, but they are not experts. They are not in the industry. They are seeing the surface, but they are not seeing the reality of setting up that business. And then you go and you base a permanent decision from assumptions, from subjective information that you are getting. Eventually, when they set up the business, they find that it's another ball game altogether. And then very quickly, the big business dies. And they've invested so much in it. So friends and family, getting business information from friends and family instead of experts, instead of business consultants, instead of people who know the terrain who can advise you. That's a big mistake. Another aspect of friends and family is hiring friends and family, because business is about who you surround yourself with in terms of your team composition that will help you to make strategic decisions and to move your business forward. Now, I always tell my clients that you draw a line between personal relationship and professional relationship. The minute you bring your friends or your family members to come and work with you, that line becomes a bit murky, because they may not have the mindset that when we are at home, you are my brother. But when we come to the workplace, you are my boss. And so a lot of the time, when investors or partners, when you want to partner with people, or you want to open up your business for investors, they do due diligence. And when they come and they assess that you have family members and friends, then they are wondering, when you're taking strategic decisions, are you taking it on a personal basis, or you're taking it strategic? Because they are going to join you. And these people who are part of your team, are they competent to be there? Or you took them because it's your brother and your friend. And all these things will go against you. That is, if you really want to have a business that you want to invite in investors, these go against. The first thing investors look out for is your team composition. Are they competent? What kind of strategic decisions can you make with them? And if they find that it's just a friends and family thing, they're not really serious. They cannot partner with you. So that's the second one. The third one I will talk about is this mindset of extreme mistrust. You see, especially with people who have watched a lot of videos, Ghana is like this, they fleece me, this is that. And when you have, they come with that kind of mindset, so they don't trust anybody. And that's extreme. And when you set up a business, you cannot implement your business vision alone. You need to hire people. Now, when you hire people and you don't trust them, they sense it. And a lot of the time, you see a lot of these diasporans, because of this mistrust, extreme mistrust mentality, if you do not trust somebody, you don't treat them well. Yeah. And so you find that they have a high turnover in their employees, because people, and then you find that they sort of micromanage everything because they don't trust you. So they are breathing down your neck when you are doing things. And people don't feel comfortable with that, even with their partners, even with whether it's their partners or their employees, they don't trust anybody. And so that's extreme. If you do that, you repel people, you repel the people who can help you in your business. You repel them because you let them, you don't trust anybody. So that's a third mistake that I find that a lot of diasporans make. There are a whole lot of them, but I think I want to.
So have you had stories of people coming to invest for the first time and then everything collapses? Are there any stories to that? Tell me about it.
Tell you a story of a friend, a diasporan client of mine who came, and she had this wonderful idea of merging an event center plus like a small Airbnb concept plus a cafe concept and all that. But like I said, the first mistake is that she didn't do a lot of due diligence. And even the place that she purchased, she rented at airport residential.
That's gonna be expensive.
The price is like 1,000 cedis a month. They tripled and quadrupled it for her. And she was paying, you see, the not doing due diligence and not planning, it really disturbs your business in a big way. So all her savings, in dollars. She was, and the landlord was taking the money in dollars, not in cedis. And so she came in. She didn't have people around her. She didn't surround herself with experts. So she went to renovate the whole place. And instead of tying it into the contract with the landlord that, okay, if the thing is X amount, all the renovation that I've done, let's factor it into it. She didn't know. It's this overexcitement that, oh, I'm going to start a business. Oh, I'm in the motherland and all that. So at the end of the day, I mean, the just the rent alone was killing her. Utilities, because she has air conditioners everywhere and all that. The cost of utilities was killing her. And then the people that she hired, of course, the work ethics of, there's a way to hire and hire intentionally and get the best people. There's a way also that you will hire if you don't know, and then you get people who will not perform. So at the end of the day, after 1 year, she had spent a lot of money. She had to take the decision to just close down and go back. She met me halfway along the line and subscribed to some of my services. I remember I have this diaspora business business readiness masterclass that I give to diasporans. And when she attended it, she said, Adubea, everything you said there, I'm guilty. Why didn't I meet you before? But then when she was in the middle of, I think halfway through, you can still change, but sometimes when they get in deep like that, hired family and friends and all that, she went on and on and on, and eventually she just had to. So yes, there are, and that is why we always advise them that when you get into business, get a business consultant that's part of your team. You have to invest in people who would show you the right way, because it costs more for you to, out of ignorance, set up a business and build it, and then it fails, than for you to invest in consultants, in mentors to help you set it up, and then, to grow it. So,
Let's talk about some of the successful stories also that especially your company has helped to grow.
I mean, like I said, we have varied services. We do a bit of mentoring. We do all these events, we do webinars and all those things. And a lot of the time, we are showing them different ways in which you can succeed in business, because at the back of our minds, the problem we are solving is business failure. And they gain a lot of insights and they work on it. And also because we put them in the diaspora business community, it's a continuous thing. It's not like you've had a service or you've attended an event and that's the end of it. You are part of a community. So sometimes the decisions that they are taking, they put it there. Okay, I want to take this kind of decision. Or I need this kind of, and we do a lot of collaborations in there. That is where people see their partners, the Ghanaian partners and all that, and it helps them to, enhance their businesses. So the feedback has been good. The insights they gain, they use it in their businesses. Before they set up their businesses, we work with them, even the concept and whether it will, the kind of customer segments and whether it will work here or how we tweak it a bit or all that. So all those things.
I'm curious to know about the kind of businesses they choose to venture into when they come to Ghana.
Most of the time, there are 4 business sectors that a lot of, and this is statistics. I think I got it from GIPC. So it's either agribusiness and agriculture, and they want to take it, mechanized farming and technology in farming and the whole value chain of agribusiness. Because, that's what we need in this country, So agribusiness and agriculture. That's the first one. Technology, a lot of tech hubs and all those things. fintech and all those things, technology. Then tourism and hospitality. A lot of them are investing in beachfronts and all those things. And then real estate. They're doing fantastic in real estate, buying land and building, innovative. I had somebody I invited to one of my webinars. I don't know whether you've heard about Shark Island. Shark Island.
One of the things I hear people complain about a lot is that because of them coming to invest, building all the nice buildings and renting it out is one of the reasons why rent is so expensive in Accra. Is that true? Coming to do the real estate, buy houses, build houses, and so the money they invested, they're trying to get everything back, and so the cost of purchasing a house in Ghana is so high. Someone like me who has not been to the States and don't have the dollars, how do I buy from you who have all the dollars?
Yeah, there are different market segments that every entrepreneur looks at. So you have high end, you have middle level, you have affordable. So it depends on what the investor or whoever is a business owner is, but the high end, they have a lot of customers there. Ghanaians have money. Yeah. Then the middle end too is there, but we are encouraging them to do the low cost because a lot of them are coming into real estate. So the essence of we being business consultants is that we want to point them to areas also that they can do for affordable. Yeah. By using, and they are more interested also in using local raw materials. So these are whole hats thing that the inside is cool because of the innovation, the creativity that they have. They can use it to build, and it will be a beautiful place to be in, but the cost will not be as high as. So yes, we are encouraging.
You need to do that small cost. I mean, when they come to build all the houses and we're not able to afford
it. Yeah, you can just look at it and just wish.
That's a feeling. That's a feeling. Now, okay, let's say I have $1 million and I'm relocating to Ghana to start up something with my family. What are the first steps I need to take?
First of all, what I would advise, and I advise a lot of diasporans, is that sometimes, when they come and visit, they come and spend like a week or two. Oh, I love Ghana. Oh, Ghana's beautiful. Like when you spend a week or two, you will love everything about Ghana. Come and stay a bit more. When you come, I mean, a lot of the time, what I advise them is, okay, you have an idea of the sector you want to be in. So supposing you want to be in, let me say, restaurants, because I have personal experience in running a restaurant. So you want to have a restaurant. When you come for your visits, okay, you come 2 weeks, you come 1 month, let it be part of your itinerary. Go around and go and see the restaurants in Accra. What are they doing? What is good about what they're doing? Where are the gaps that you can improve upon? What is everybody doing? What is something unique that you can introduce? Who are the people? That's the homework you should be doing. Not relying on family and friends to give you, but just on the ground. If it's Accra you want to, just go and see what is happening. And in seeing it, you know what everybody is doing and where you can apply some niche into it. And then you go back and build your business concept. And that's the thing that we can help them to do. So you don't just come and have fun and go, and then come wholesale with your family and friends. I had an experience of it wasn't a client, but this is something that somebody told me. Came to Ghana. Oh, Ghana is beautiful. Ghana is so nice. I'm going to bring. Went back, sold the house, sold everything, and came to Ghana. No plan. And these are people who, when they came, they like this. What is it called? Solar. They saw that a lot of people were using charcoal, okay, and they felt that was, environmentally not friendly, and so they put together a design for, a solar, something like a small solar. What we have, that is this coal pot, but they're using solar. They're using the direct rays of the sun to, and they went to produce a lot of it. No due diligence, no assessment of the customer segment. They brought a lot and they relocated and came to Ghana. Only to find that, and it's like their coal pots and their charcoal. What am I going to do with the sun? Boiling yam with the sun and that thing. And they made a huge loss. They brought all their life investments and they went back. But that was a colossal mistake, because that, like I'm saying, you have to analyze this, the client segments. You have to know what their needs are. You have to know what it's a cultural mindset thing that you can't do. Yeah. You don't just go gather all your family. So some of the things that I tell them is that essentials for relocation. First, what kind of, is it your savings that, what kind of money, if you're coming to build a business, have you saved over a period of time? Or is it that you have investments over there? What are you going to rely on? Yeah. That's the first thing. Secondly, when you're coming down to this place, I mean, are you looking at what kind of model are you going to use? Some people they are here and there. So they set up a business here, but they have something else they're doing there. That's what is generating the money. Because you see, the lifespan of a business, before you break even, depending on the sector that you're in, you could break even in 5 years. So within the 5 years, how are you going to? So you need to plan that. Are you going to be here and there? Are you going to have something there that will be giving you cash flow while you're using some of it until you break even? Or are you going to have a remote, you can be here and be building your business, but you have a remote job that you're doing on your laptop and that's generating dollars for you. You need to have a strategy, and then when you also have to plan. If you come here, are you going to rent or are you going to build? Each of it has pros and cons. If you're going to rent, in this country, they don't take 1 month. You have to pay like maybe 2-3 years. Yeah. And sometimes, depending on where you are, it's sort of in dollars. You understand? And a lot of the time, a lot of these diasporans, they come and they go to their cantonments and so if you are renting, you have to decide, am I going to be renting? Am I going to be building? If you are going to be renting, this is the terrain you are in. It's 2-3 years advanced. And you find that after the 3 years elapses, they can increase the rent. Okay, you have to have all that knowledge in your decision making. If you are going to build, where are you going to build? Do you have enough money? And when you build too, you have to have enough money to also maintain. You have to think about all these things and plan it well. Then you have to ask yourself, healthcare. Where you are staying, is it close to a healthcare? We have public healthcare service providers here. We have private. Which one would you adhere to? Because some of them come with lifestyle diseases and all that. So you have to be very selective about the healthcare, the proximity of it to where you live and all that, because something may happen to you. Are you going to drive all the way to Kole with all the traffic? And you have to sort all these things out. So it's a lot of detailed planning before you take that decision to make that great move. You need to understand that, okay, am I going to have a money-making machine over there and be here? Or am I coming and going? Or will I be here and do a remote? You have to think through all these things.
I'm also wanting to know about Accra. Accra is getting choked everywhere. The buildings and all of that. There's flood whenever there's a heavy rainfall. Now, aside of Accra, what are some of the places, good spots that they have to come in and invest?
I think, we have all the 16 regions. I mean, 15 if you take Greater Accra. I think um, every region has uniqueness, and sometimes some of the we talk about a lot of red tape and everything in Accra, but as you delve into the regions, the bureaucracy is lower, and so just when they are paying their visit, they should make sure that they go to other regions, go to other regions and go and explore other regions, and depending on what you want to do, because something like hospitality and tourism, it works well in other regions. Go and see what Ghanaians are doing. Go and see the lapses. Go and see what you can improve and make yours niche. Because one of the fundamental things about, the hospitality industry in Ghana is that the customer service is so poor. So if you have that in mind, what can you do in any of the regions? Have a good place to be, and people would. So I would say they should explore, and also always have as part of your team a business consultant. 3 people, very vital: a business consultant, an accountant, and a tax specialist, a lawyer. Have them at the back of your list so that the compliance issues and all the tax things and all that, somebody handles it. As to, the right decisions to take, the consultant handles it. As to the legal aspect, you have a legal person. Then you are making progress. But if you come and you don't know anything, you open yourself up.
Have you had the experiences of them having to deal with the government?
The diasporans, in what way?
Probably like taxing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, that with the taxation thing, I always advise them, and even I apply it to myself, in areas that you are not competent in. Have somebody who is competent in it, because a lot of the time, what the diasporans do is, some of them, they like to cut corners. They think it's smart. By the end of the day, the penalties that will follow you when you are caught, so they feel it's smart to cut corners, but the GRA will always come after you, so that's why I say that our taxation, our compliance regime, everything is a bit too complex. So it's good for you to have experts who can handle that for you. They may not be full-time. They may be just handling those aspects for you, so that you don't have to bog yourself doing those things. You know that somebody is handling it. You have to have an overview of what they're doing, but you know that somebody is handling it. Because when they then decide to handle it, most of the time they mess up, because they have their mentality of what is happening, where I'm coming from is what is here. But that's an entirely different ballgame.
Okay, we're getting to the end of our conversation, but then I wanted to ask also about the locals over here. What kind of mindset or preparation do we need to go through before we get to do business with these people coming in?
I think we should not have a fixed mindset. And when I say fixed mindset, I'm saying that this is the way we do things. The tradition goes on. We don't want change. Because they are coming with exposure. They are coming with things that will broaden the competition. They're coming with niche ideas. Open up and receive. They're coming with perspectives that you don't even know. And running a business is, you need to be open to learning. And so if you're open to learning, their perspectives, their innovation, their exposure, combined with your local thing, blended together, will bring in something. But if you have a fixed mindset, not a growth mindset, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. So they are coming with, and then you also need to have a lot of patience with them, because they because, the infrastructure, and they get easily frustrated. That's one of the things I've noticed with a lot of my clients. Easily frustrated. Oh, I'm giving up. I'm going home. And then you have to let them know that it's a long haul with business. You just don't meet a challenge and give up like that. So it's you need to be patient.
Diaspora business community. How do I become a member if I'm looking for it to
You become a member when you attend any of our events, if it's one-on-one services, mentoring services, and all that. You have to attend an event or, subscribe to our services. After that, we ask you. We don't just put you there. We tell you about what it is. Are you interested in joining? And if you are, we add you to it.
Okay. You have a book?
Oh yeah, I have an ebook.
Okay, tell me about that.
So, offstage, I was talking to you about how I set up DBC, the Diaspora and Business Community, and I was writing every Thursday. I'll put some insights about doing business in Ghana on the platform, and I did it consistently. And I got the feedback that they really appreciated it. It was helping them understand. Sometimes they put questions there and we respond to it and all that. And then eventually everybody came out and was asking questions, sharing their experiences and all that. So I thought all the work that I had done, I should put it together in an ebook. So it's Ghana Unlocked, 24 Essential Business Insights and Guide for Diasporans, diaspora and entrepreneurs. And it's just bite-sized lessons learned, strategies, tips on doing business in Ghana, bulleted forms, very, very insightful. It's more like your pocketbook because you have 24 of these. And I recommend every diasporan to get a copy of this, ebook. I think at the end of it, I can give out some content.
How do they get it?
Yes, so you can just send me a WhatsApp message, and I have the PDF version. I'll give you all the details. Should I give the number?
Yeah, what's it?
054 477 5660. Okay, 054 477 5660. If you're an email kind of person, it's adubea.associates9@gmail.com. Send me a message and I'll get you the ebook.
About the events coming up.
Yes, so we have a Diaspora Business Mentoring Roundtable. We started this as a December in Ghana event 2024, and we're doing it just in December when all the diasporans come back. We decided to do it twice a year. So this is a very insightful and interactive business event. So the targets are diasporans, entrepreneurs, whether you're aspiring or you're established. It's an in-person thing. We are not live streaming because we want them to go on. So whether you're a diasporan or you're an expert or an investor or you're a Ghanaian entrepreneur or you're a Ghanaian professional, those are our targets. You're invited. And the theme is learn, pitch, grow, connect. So the learn bit, I will give a talk, a very insightful business talk. That talk, I'll be sharing insights from the national personality of Ghanaians for you to understand when you go to the workplace how your partners and workforce will how the mindset that is there and how you can minimize the negatives and maximize the positive. Very insightful because it helped me. It's a research that a Ghanaian lady did, and I expanded it and put it in the workplace scenario. So the talk, the learn is about that. The pitch, we are giving opportunity to 4 people when you register. You have a business you want to pitch. We call something elevator pitch. Okay, you need to be able to be ready at any point in time. The most critical aspects of your business that make it stand out. You have thought through all that and pitch your business in 5 minutes. It's called elevator because it's like when you enter the elevator, there's only a short span of time for you to get out. Supposing you meet an investor in there, how do you pitch your business in 5 minutes? So what we do is that when you register, when you make your payment and you register, on the registration form, we ask you, are you interested in pitching? It's all part of the fee. I mean, it's not an extra fee. It's just part of what qualifies, a benefit you get from registering. But we are looking for just 4 people. 1 slot has been taken. So if you want to get feedback, and then I give you feedback. So what they do is that we give them guidelines to prepare for it. And on that day, they come and pitch in front of all of us. And then I give them feedback. Okay. So 3 slots are remaining. Then that helps you to shape your business and all that. Then the grow aspect is that we have about 5 groups. We'll be doing group discussion. Each group has a different topic. Some of the things we are discussing should be maybe a topic for a group to handle. And we believe that everybody there has insights, they have experiences, they have lessons learned. So they all discuss it, and one person presents what the group, and we all learn from it. Then you have the final one, that is the connect. We have a very structured networking session. We also have some of the participants are exhibitors, and we are looking for exhibitors who are doing innovative made in Ghana stuff, not just anything. And we are looking for just 6 slots, and so there's time for everybody to go to the stands to go and see that. There's time also for the structured networking thing. Just 6 people. So that for the pitchers, if you're interested in pitching, 3 slots remain. For the exhibitors, 6 slots. 1 is taken, so 5 slots remain. And we are giving an early bird discount up to, I think it's 18th March. But if you are interested, hurry up and register so that those slots are not taken. We're looking for just 100 people. We're doing it at their coffee house, Airport Residential Areas, 9 to 5. And yeah, so if you are interested, my number I've already given. Just send me a text. I'll give you the website and all that, and read about the details, and you go ahead and you register.
All right, so just so you know, Afri Xperience is going to be your media team on that day. We are going to be there to capture the whole moment and everything.
Wow.
Yes.
I took me by surprise.
Yeah, no, you didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that coming. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful. And it would be great for you to be there too, because you have an opportunity to identify some people that you can bring on your show to this thing. So it's you had to spring it on me just live like.
All right, you're welcome. Any final words before we go?
I wanted also to say that we are going to be working. We brand ourselves as Adubea and Associates. We brand ourselves as the business consulting companions for diasporans. So we are hand-holding you and working hand in hand with you to right from the concept stage to the establishment to the building. At every transition of your business, we'll be there. We are inviting you to be part of the 100 spots. And because great Jesse is going to also be there, you should be part of it and register for this. And beyond that, as you register and as you participate, we'll put you all on the diaspora and business community. And yeah, and it goes on. But I forgot to mention the Ghana Bridge. So I have this collaboration with Nora. Yeah, Nora is also an expert, and she's a creative director, and we are working hand in hand to, do a lot of these business interviews based on the topics in my ebook. And so a lot of the interviewees are coming from the diaspora business community, and they're different experts. They have different specialties. And so we just want to invite the audience also to tune in to the Ghana Bridge. where they'll get to know different insights also about doing business in Ghana. So that one, you just follow, if you're on TikTok, you follow Nora. Nora is NOORA .ya, as in Ya Santua, official. You follow her. We do it Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5:30 p.m. And there too, we discuss a lot of insights and a lot of the upcoming events for the roundtable. So we invite you to join and be part of it.
All right, thank you so much for watching this interesting episode of Afri Xperience. We were talking about the diaspora, the need for them to come home, the need for them to know what they're coming to invest in and how to go about it. I had a very interesting conversation with Madam Adubea Afua Ayisi. And so you can reach out to her anytime you want to, come to Ghana and do business. Anything you need to know, she's there to support you and take you through. And thank you so much for watching